O God of many names, we know that you call us to work hard to bring people together. O God of many names, let us pray. O God of many names.
What appears to be a simple prayer is actually echoed by New World Order Pope Francis, calling for a new humanity and insisting Christians and Muslims both worship the one God. Michael Snyder writes, Pope Francis told hundreds of thousands of young people gathered for World Youth Day in Poland that they need to believe in a new humanity and that they should refuse to see borders as barriers. In May of 2016, Pope Francis welcomed one of the top Sunni clerics in the world at the Vatican, and he reportedly told the cleric that our meeting is the message. In September of 2015, Pope Francis traveled to New York City to deliver a speech that kicked off a conference during which the United Nations unveiled a new universal agenda for humanity. In November of 2015, Pope Francis declared that fundamentalism, even Christian fundamentalism, is a sickness, during remarks in which he stressed the similarity of the major religions. In July of 2015, during a trip to Ecuador, Pope Francis spoke of the need for a new economic and ecological world order in which the wealth of the planet is shared by everyone. Pope Francis also denounced global capitalism and referred to its excesses as the dung of the devil. In June of 2015, Pope Francis called for a new global political authority that would have the resources necessary to deal with the world's economic problems and injustices. And back in June of 2014, Pope Francis authorized Islamic prayers and readings from the Quran at the Vatican. In ancient times, this would have been considered blasphemy, but today nobody really even notices when something like this happens. Now combine the New World Order Pope with Hillary's past behavior in the White House, Hillary's potential presidency when considering the spiritual aspects should not be ignored. As First Lady, according to Clinton White House FBI liaison Gary Aldrich, Hillary adorned the First Lady Christmas tree in pornographic occultic ornaments 2 years in a row. In addition, Aldridge and members of the permanent White House staff were repeatedly shocked to discover recent drug use, rampant theft, open gay and lesbian sex, and perhaps most alarming, widespread access to classified materials by personnel without security clearances. This is the real Hillary Clinton. The New World Order Pope and an occultic president could spiritually take humanity to levels of morality never before seen.
The National Security Agency is collecting millions of images of people from the internet. The New York Times reports the agency plans to use them in sophisticated facial recognition programs. The technology exploits the flood of images included in emails, text messages, social media, video conferences, and other communications. Documents released by former NSA contractor Edward Snowden reveal the agency intercepts millions of images per day, about 55,000 of those daily images facial recognition quality. Officials say the program could revolutionize the way they find intelligence targets around the world.
Outrage is growing in India after 2 teenage girls were gang raped and left hanging dead in a mango tree. Protesters are taking to the streets of New Delhi demanding justice. The murdered girls were Dalits, a widely disregarded people group in India. And though arrests have been made, protesters say there's a lack of anger for the killings. Many say rape is an all too common crime in India. Government records show a rape is committed every 22 minutes. Late last year, new laws were enacted to try and cut down on this problem.
I thought in my head about how, if you punished them or if you made them more manly or if you didn't allow this. I tried them all.
For 2 years, Kimberly Shapley fought for her son to stay her son.
I did a lot of damage to this child trying to force her into this box of being less feminine, less flamboyant.
But now,
I'm a mom of a little girl that I would like to see live.
She's fighting for her now 5-year-old transgender daughter, Kai, to be treated like a girl.
I am choosing now to take this stand for my kid in elementary school so that we're not still fighting this battle in junior high and high school and college.
Shapley going before the Pearland School Board tonight. Her daughter, Kai, is set to start kindergarten in a few weeks.
We're focusing on, practicing our reading and getting more proficient.
Despite the Justice Department's directive to all school districts that they cannot treat transgender students differently, the Pearland School District says no to allowing little Kai to use the girls' restroom. Today, school leaders Leaders met with Shapley and said Kai would be able to use the nurse's bathroom. But for Mom, this is not a compromise. She feels it will do her daughter more harm than good.
41% suicide rate for transgender children who are not supported by their family, from their community, from their peers. But when you take a transgender child and you put them in a setting where they are supported, the studies show that they have no higher risk of suicide than their peers.
We sometimes think that tolerance is about one side giving up their understanding or their right or their position to agree with another.
Rick Torreson praised the school board for standing by its decision. He says it's all about safety.
It's not just about Kai, it's about Sarah, who is born a female, believes she's a female, and her safety in a situation where a man walks into that bathroom and says, I identify as a woman. What do you do with Sarah? Who looks out for Sarah?
Point, click, steal. Security camera video outside of a Houston home shows this guy getting into a Jeep Wrangler and breaking out his laptop, apparently using the Jeep's onboard computer diagnostic port to trick it into accepting a generic key he brought with him, and then just driving off.
Who needs the hot wire when you got a laptop?
Typically, thieves target older cars because of the value of their parts, but not these two. Working always at night, they struck again using a laptop to take this Jeep Grand Cherokee. Police arrested Michael Arce and Jesse Zalea, but believe the pair made off with up to 100 vehicles, which were then smuggled into Mexico.
And if it's this easy to steal, or somebody actually has the knowledge and the ability and knows how to utilize that ability to be able to commit the theft, it's a scary situation.
The parents of two victims in the Benghazi attack are suing Hillary Clinton. Patricia Smith and Charles Wood say hackers stole information from Clinton's unprotected private email server that helped them to plan the attack. In a congressional hearing investigating the attack, Clinton once said it is not important how or why the attack happened.
What difference at this point does it make?
The lawsuit also accuses Clinton of defaming them in public statements. According to reports, the lawsuit filed Monday states the Benghazi attack was directly and proximately caused by Clinton's extreme carelessness in handling confidential and classified information. Patricia Smith said she blames Hillary Clinton personally for the death of her son. And according to attorney Larry Klayman, who is handling the lawsuit, he stated that Hillary Clinton's luck this time has run out.
A waterfall of trash and sewage flows from the top of Rocinha, Rio de Janeiro's largest favela. The Brazilian government promised improvements would be made after winning its Olympic bid in 2009. But residents say nothing has ever been done to treat the water.
To host an Olympic event in Rio de Janeiro is equivalent of a father going through a difficult financial situation, decides to throw a party and invites all of his friends instead of taking care of his family.
Luis Oliveira has lived here his whole life and walked us up and down treacherous stairs and through skinny alleyways. Rivers of garbage flow around every corner.
All of that dirty water from the favela ends up here. And let me tell you, even 200 feet up, you can still smell a very foul odor.
I already found many plastic bottles, rats, cats, dogs, condoms, syringes, and diapers.
Marcelo Fadias' love of surfing puts him in water that could make him sick with anything from norovirus to hepatitis, according to a study commissioned by the Associated Press. He now documents everything and uses social media to show the world that Rio's beautiful-looking beaches have a very ugly secret.
My hope is that someone or a company see what's happening and help us. Because if we depend on the government of Rio de Janeiro, we won't get any solution.
It would mean more than catching a break, because if the Olympics didn't bring change, many wonder what will.
5 attacks in 2 weeks, most with some connection to immigration, and more attacks on the horizon. It has a lot of Germans wondering what Angela Merkel, with her open-door refugee policy, has done to Germany.
It's not safe, not more in Germany. Is it really more danger or not? But it feels more danger.
I'm a little bit afraid because the terror comes nearer to us.
Ich habe schon ein bisschen Angst.
Okay.
Ja?
Some say Angela Merkel's political fate was sealed when she threw open Germany's doors to more than 1 million migrants and told the German people that we can do this. And now the approval rating for the woman who was once one of the most popular chancellors in post-war Germany has collapsed. Terrorism has now become a part of life in a nation that used to see very little. Almost daily, terror attacks across Western Europe have an entire continent on edge. This is what happened in the Balkan nation of Kosovo last week when someone shouted ISIS as a joke, a stampede that injured 40 people. A lot of Germans warned that Merkel was bringing disaster with her refugee policy, including the woman who awoke a lot of Germans to the threat of Islam, Heidi Mundt, also known as the brave German woman. This video of Heidi interrupting the call to prayer by a Muslim imam in a German cathedral went viral on the internet. Now, after the flood of mostly Muslim refugees into Germany, Heidi Mundt says she believes some German leaders want to destroy the nation.
I am really convinced that there are bad people of darkness who want to destroy us. They are servants of the devil. They are sick in their opinion, and they don't care if it will cost lives or not, it will be bloody or not, you know. They want to destroy, they want to take over.
And before the terrorism that hit Germany, before the New Year's Eve sex attacks in Cologne and other cities, Heidi says God spoke to her about Germany's future.
God gave me a vision over the border of Germany and Europe, and he gave it to me 2 times in the last years, and I saw a human prayer chain standing around Germany and praying for Germany and for Europe. I spoke out a warning first to my brothers and sisters in Christ that we have to pray against this raping which would come up. I told them that we would face danger, yeah, and especially our children, our girls, our women.
She sent the warning to her followers on Facebook, and because of that, Mundt was reported and investigated by the local prosecutor for hate speech. Then what she warned of came true. Germany is now in the grips of what some are calling a rape epidemic. The hate speech investigation against Heidi has been dropped.
It was not hate speech, and I don't have hatred in my heart. No, I love my people, and I also love those people who are coming in. I wanted to open the eyes of the people that they could understand what's going on.
Heidi Mundt feels she knows Angela Merkel because both grew up under communism in the former East Germany. Merkel was the daughter of a Protestant pastor, but Heidi Mundt has harsh words for Germany's chancellor.
Who is Merkel? I'm sorry, who is she? I have been a communist. I know who she is. For me, she's a wolf. And people think she's a Christian. She would not destroy her country. She would not destroy the people here. And she is doing it right now.
Germany is still under the control of political correctness that casts opponents of immigration as Nazis and racists. The third largest political party in Germany now is the right-wing Alternative for Germany. One of its leaders is Bjorn Höcke.
I only know that Chancellor Angela Merkel is throwing our country into disaster, and with us, also Europe.
Höcke says he still considers Germany a Christian nation because of its Christian foundation. And he said Germany cannot integrate millions of Muslims because Islam is a religion that is stuck in the Middle Ages. But the growing popularity of Alternative for Germany does not mean the nation is close to a turnaround. Merkel has doubled down on her refugee program, attacking opponents. Heidi Mundt believes the future for Germany is chaos and war.